What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Twenties podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to reminding you of your God-given purpose through personal testimonies, trials, and personal revelations. I believe that each and every single one of us was created with a purpose, for a purpose, but it is up to us to align with it. I'm your host, T. Louise, and I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Twenties. It's your girl, T. Louise. I'm so excited for today's episode, y'all. I know I say it every episode, but I really am. This episode is something that I've really been struggling with. And I feel like if I'm not vulnerable, if I'm not open about the things that I'm really am struggling with, then how am I going to help anybody, or how am I going to be? I just feel like if I'm not open and vulnerable, then I'm failing in that area. And so before we get into today's episode, I do want to let you guys know that Twisted 20s will not be coming out every week anymore as of right now, just so I can kind of get a work-life balance. There's a lot of things going on in my personal life, and so I just need to kind of balance everything out. And so for right now, Twisted 20s will be coming out every other week. So every 2 weeks, you will get a new Twisted 20s episode at the same time, every other Monday at 9 a.m. sharp. And I really truly appreciate you guys for just continuing to support me on my journey. So now that we got that out of the way, y'all, let me tell y'all what's been going on. Okay. So recently I started going to therapy. You guys know that I've already been in therapy, but I started seeing another therapist. So after I came back from Nashville, after dealing with my grandmother's passing and then my aunt passing all at the same time, I really started to narrow in, okay, I want to take my purpose seriously. I want to take content creation seriously. I want to take all these things seriously because I made a vow to myself. I'm like, this year, I'm putting in that work. I want to be obedient to what God has called me to do. I want to take my dreams seriously. I want to do content creation full time. Like, this was my thing. And of course, you guys know that before I went to Nashville, and when I had came back before my aunt's funeral, I was already beating myself up. I'm like, man, I ain't creating no content. I ain't putting no podcast out. I was just beating myself up. And so after I got back and I started settling in, getting back into my work life and getting back into my regular life here in Atlanta, I was like, okay, let me try and move forward in some of the things that I really want to do. And I was just finding myself struggling with it. And so it got so much to a point I started thinking to myself, what is wrong with me? Why is there a blockage on me moving forward in my purpose? Why is there a blockage in me moving forward in confidence in my content creation and all these different things? And I really realized that it was my insecurities, my self-worth, the way that I view myself. But overall, the main thing that kept coming up for me was my weight, the way that I see myself being a fat girl. I don't even like the word fat, but I will get more into that here in a little bit. But my weight has caused me to feel so insecure when it comes to certain things. So much to the point I've even told myself, oh, I can't do that until I lose weight, or, oh, I'm not going to make no content until I lose weight, and all these different things. And so I really had to go back some. Sometimes when we have to heal from things, we have to go backwards. And I know y'all finna say, how far are we going back? We're going all the way back to maybe, I will probably say maybe second, third, fourth grade, somewhere in between there. Maybe I'm going to say kindergarten to third grade, because I'm not exactly sure, what age or grade I was in, but I just know it was when I was a kid. This event that I'm about to share, I'm not exactly sure if I've shared it before, but this particular event was like catastrophic for me, shall I say. It was the pivotal point of when my identity or when my view of myself was first tainted. My mom and we had went on vacation to Myrtle Beach. I think it was Myrtle Beach. And if you guys do not know, my favorite color is pink. And, when you go on vacation, you like to get, little souvenirs and things like that. And so the souvenir that I wanted was a t-shirt. And I'm not a big sister, but this particular t-shirt that said I'm a little sister on it was in purple. And I didn't want it in purple. They only had the I'm a big sister t-shirt in pink. So I begged my mom. I'm like, Mom, please let me get this one. My mom is like, you're not a big sister. I'm like, please, Mom, please. I finally wore her down, baby. She got me that pink t-shirt. She got me that pink t-shirt. So fast forward, summer break is over. It's time to go back to school. I'm excited. Ooh, I got my fit on. I got my new shirt on, my new pants, shoes, all of this. Man, I get to school and it's this little boy in my class, and he looked at me and he looked me right in my face and he said, yeah, you are the big sister, fat girl. Now, mind you, I never thought that I was a fat girl until he said that. Fast forward, I believe that maybe it wouldn't have stuck with me if I also didn't have family members that only confirmed what someone at school said about me. My grandmother, I love her. She was a wonderful woman. She was my baby, but she also contributed to my low self-esteem. She also contributed to the way that I saw myself and my self-worth. When I would walk in a room, she would say, oh my gosh, you need to lose weight. You need to start walking. It was always something about my weight. And I didn't realize how much of my view was centered around my weight. So much to the point that I literally became a fat girl. Because as a kid, I wasn't really fat. Like, I may have been like a little chunky or something like that, but not overly chunky. And the little girl in me, just talking about this, is so triggered. And I didn't understand that. I mean, every single time that I was bullied from elementary all the way up to, I would say 7th grade, I was bullied because of my weight. It was always fat girl. It was always fat jokes. It was always something pertaining to my weight. My comfort and my unhealthy coping mechanism was overeating. I snacked. I found comfort in food. And so much to the point where I still snack to this day. And I really be getting on myself about that, because like, it's not a good, healthy. Anytime I feel depressed or sad or happy or anything, I'm eating. And that's not good. It's not good. Like, it really isn't. But I started therapy last week. I started seeing a new therapist, because I wanted to see a therapist that I could specifically talk about these issues with. And I still see my trauma therapist. I still see my grief therapist. She's the same lady, but I still see her, and it's no disrespect to her. I love her. But I wanted to talk to someone else about my weight and my confidence and my self-worth and my identity. And I feel like I thought it was a decade, but I'm 26 now. Am I 26? 26. So over 2 decades, my identity has been wrapped up in that one statement. Yeah, you are a big sister, fat girl, fat girl, fat girl, fat girl, fat girl. I never really realized how much that statement rung in the back of my conscience for years, over and over again. Fat girl. Every single time I feel uncomfortable in my clothes, fat girl. Every single time I look in the mirror and I see my double chin, fat girl. Every single time I buy clothes or I go in the store to try something on and it doesn't fit, fat girl. It rings over in my head over and over again. Every single time that I try to record content and I see my double chin, fat girl. And there's my self-confidence right there. It dissolves. And I don't want to even do it anymore. And I told myself this year, I'm gonna be obedient. I'm gonna do my podcast consistently. I'm gonna create me some content. This is what I said to myself. And when I tried to sit down and do the content, I said, what is wrong with me? Every single time I try to take a step forward, it's like there's a blockage. And I don't understand why. So after I started therapy, I think I went, when I go last Thursday. I think it was last Thursday or Tuesday, one of them days, honey. At this point, the days be blending together at this point. But it was like, after that, I just started dealing with the aftermath of my emotions, like the afterthoughts of all the issues that I had buried. That one event has rung over and over and over in my mind, unconsciously. Like, that's what I hear. Like, just sitting here recording this, like, I'm just thinking to myself, whenever I look in the mirror and I think I look cute, I hear, yeah, you look cute. Sure, you look cute, fat girl. Like, that's what I hear. And I'm not blaming that guy. I don't even remember the kid's name. I mean, it's been years. I don't remember his name, but I remember those words. And that's how I started to see myself. Now, my grandmother, she never called me fat. She never called me fat, but she was very adamant about me losing weight. Another thing that I discovered in therapy as well is that I realized social settings make me nervous. I've realized that over the past 5 to 6 years, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I seclude myself at the house. I work from home. So that's a plus. Now I really don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be around people. No one has to see me. I moved to another state, so no one knows me. But when I go back home and my friends want to hang out, I don't want to hang out. I don't want you to see me. I don't want you to see how big I've gotten, how much weight I've gained. You know, it makes me nervous. I overthink. I'm insecure and I'm uncomfortable. I absolutely hate going anywhere where I have to dress up. Oh, I have to dress up? No, I don't want to go. If I can't wear my sweatpants and t-shirts, I don't want to go. I cannot make this up. 95% of my clothing in my closet and in my drawers is sweatpants and t-shirts. I have a few cute clothes, okay? And I don't wear those because I feel uncomfortable. When I'm in social settings, and honestly, I think the reason why I get uncomfortable in social settings is because for majority of my life, all of my friends in my social settings, in my social groups have been skinny or they've been smaller than me. I've always been the biggest one. So when I go into social settings and it's not, a lot of bigger people, I automatically think that people are like, oh, you think you cute? Yeah, right, fat girl. Once again, there's that statement ringing over and over in my head again. I'm being self-conscious and I'm feeling uncomfortable in my clothing. I'll never forget. I think it was 2 years ago. It was either a year or two ago. Davion and I were supposed to go. Well, we did end up going. We were going. They had this Stranger Things experience here in Atlanta, and we went with his his coworkers. And it took me so long to find something to wear that we were late. Like, we are primarily late to events because I struggle with finding something to wear. Not because I don't have clothes to wear, but because I don't feel comfortable in what I have on. And I remember that night, I cried. He doesn't know this, but I cried and I said to myself, if you weren't so fat, you would have something to wear. So I don't talk the nicest to myself. And even when I'm in a place now of where I have a personal trainer and I'm losing weight, even if I lose 5 pounds, it's not enough for me. I don't see it. And I'm struggling with accepting myself. Even if I am working on my physical, I still have a hard time accepting myself and my body. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't want to lose weight for the wrong reasons. I feel like every single time I say, oh, I want to lose weight, it's primarily because I want to either wear cute clothes, feel comfortable in my clothes, or I want to wear, or I want to lose weight just for stupid reasons. It's not because, oh, I want to be healthier. Not that I have health problems, but it's like, oh, I'm going to lose weight because I want to be healthier because I don't want to have health problems. It's never that. It's always something, I guess you could say vain. I guess that's the best description I can use at this point. It's like, it's always something self-induced. And I don't want to lose weight for the wrong reasons, only to not even accept or love myself in a new body. Like, I'm never going to be skinny because I have, like, look, I'm from the South, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Like, I'm from the South. Like, I'm never going to be a skinny anything. Like, I'm always going to have hips and butt. Like, it's just simple as that. But I don't want to lose weight and still feel the same way that I feel about myself. If I lose weight, am I still going to look in the mirror and still say, fat girl over and over again? I want to get to a place where I truly see myself the way that God sees me, not even based on the physical. And so that's why I started going to therapy, because I said to myself, in order for me to really start seeing myself the way that God sees me, I have to change the way that I see myself physically and the inner me, because there's something going on eternally that I've internalized for so long that it has spewed out into the way that I see myself physically. So until I can heal the inner me, I will never be able to accept who I am right now. And that's just how I feel about it. And I'm just continuing to pray and ask God that he will continue to help me see myself the way that he sees me. Because it's like, he's told me, y'all, like, I've written it down. And even after he told me that, I'm just like, yeah, I hear you. I hear you, but I don't know where that person is. Like, that's just how I feel. But I just hope that I just really continue to just allow myself the grace to give myself the space to heal and continue to strive to see myself as God does, so that I can truly walk in boldness, confidence, and really and truly walk in the self-worth that God has given to me. Like, that's really my end goal with everything. It's like, it's not to wear the cute clothes. That's a bonus. It's not to wear, like I said, it's not to wear the cute clothes. It's not to, so that I can look better on the outside. It's more so just so that I can heal and walk boldly and confidently in the purpose that God has created for me. It's not so I can create content, because I have been. If you guys are not following me on TikTok, please follow me, y'all. Your girl been putting on some TikTok videos. And I also been putting some YouTube videos up too. So it's not for any of those reasons, but it's really primarily so that I can fully walk in the purpose that God has for me. I have to love me on the outside. I have to love me on the inside. I have to love me, period. Inside and out. I have to accept all of me. And if I cannot do that, then I know that I will not be able to love and accept all of someone else. I mean, it says it in the Bible, like, you have to love yourself, love thy neighbor like you love yourself. Is that what it says? Let me look it up real quick, because I want to read the verse word for word, because I don't like to misquote nothing, but I know it's something like that. Hold on one second. Let's see. Look at this. Yep. Matthew 22. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So if I don't love myself, how am I going to love somebody else? If I can't accept myself, how am I going to accept somebody else? It's a lot of people out here in this world that do not love themselves, do not accept themselves, and that's why they out here mistreating people. And I don't want to be like that, even though I'm not like that. Even if I do struggle with the love for myself, I do wholeheartedly feel that I tend to love others the way that I really should love myself. And that is a problem. That The problem is if I can love others more than I love myself, that's not good. It should be equal. I should love my neighbors the same way that I love myself. So that's just something I've really been struggling with for the past couple weeks. So I definitely wanted to share that with you guys, because if you are dealing with anything that is causing for you to see yourself as less than, see yourself in the way that God does not see you, I really encourage you to really, if you have to get in therapy and talk to somebody about it, if it's more deeply rooted than just a simple one-on-one time with God and reading your Bible, sometimes we really do need Jesus in therapy. Like sometimes it really is like that. There are some issues where God is like, okay, if you do the work, I will do the rest. Sometimes it takes those therapy sessions with intensive questions to really help you to really realize what the issue is, where the insecurity comes from, where the lack of confidence, where the lack of self-worth come from. Sometimes it really takes that. And so for me, I am a huge advocate on Jesus in therapy. Like I simply am. I really believe in talking to someone. Some people don't. Some people just think, oh, well, I'm good. I don't need to talk to nobody. I'm just going to pray about it and that's it. It may work for you, but I know for me, baby, I need to talk to somebody. Okay. And then after I talk to them, I'm going to go home and I'm going to cry and I'm going to pour my heart out to God. And then he going to do the rest. So sometimes we really and truly do have to do the work. And sometimes that work, it may look like therapy. And sometimes that work may be different for you. It may be a self-help book. It may be going to conferences. It may look different for you. Whatever way it looks for you, do the work. Do the work. Like, I'm at a point now in my life where I'm like, I'm finna be 27, almost 30 years old. In a few years, I want to have a family. I don't want my sons, my daughters, I don't want them growing up feeling like they're not beautiful. I don't want any of my children feeling like they are not worthy of the things that God has called for them to do, because mama ain't got it together, or because mama don't see herself as worthy. So, and it's not just about, the whole kid thing, but just in general. I'm just preparing myself for every aspect of my life. And I don't want to keep being disobedient to God. And I don't want to keep putting this as the issue of why I'm not being obedient to God. I hope that today's episode has encouraged you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that it's probably a little bit out of the normal Twisted 20s podcast, but like I said, anything that has to do with my 20s, anything that I'm going through, I am sharing it on this platform because that is what this podcast is for. I truly believe that God has called for me to share any bit and piece of my life that is going on to help encourage the next person. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you guys would love to send me some suggestions on podcast episodes, things that you guys would love to hear me talk about. If you guys have any questions or needs of advice, you guys can email me at submissions@twistedtwenties.org. Again, that email is submissions@twistedtwenties.org. And make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Twisted 20s podcast on whatever platform you are listening to it. I love you guys. Thank you once again for just continuing to join me on my Twisted 20s journey. You are truly a blessing, and I love each and every single one of you guys. Peace, love, and blessings. T. Louise.